Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we're going to talk about how to fill out the 1040 Schedule C for sole proprietors, self-employed individuals, as well as single member LLCs. If you are a single member LLC, you will fill this form out as well. And we're doing this video because I've had a lot of questions on how to fill this form out. This is one of the easiest ways to do it, to be able to get the PPP loan through Smartbiz. So once you're done with this form, you'll be able to actually go through Smartbiz and fill out the PPP loan application and upload this to Smartbiz to get approved for your PPP loan. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. If you want to see more videos about the PPP loan updates, business credit, business loans, business grants, and more, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications on when I release new videos, because I do drop videos frequently throughout the week on those topics. Okay, so before we get started, the reason why you want to fill out the Schedule C 1040 is because if you are a sole proprietor, which is basically a self-employed individual, or a single member LLC, which is most of the people who I talk to, you want to fill this form out because this form will show your profit and loss. And this is for tax purposes. So if you Google this, it will tell you that a single member LLC is a disregarded entity. So basically, for federal tax purposes, it is treated as a sole proprietorship whose owner must file a Schedule C with their Form 1040. And if there is more than one member, then by default, the LLC is treated as a partnership. And before we get started filling out this form, just a heads up, I am not an accountant. I am not giving accounting advice. This is just basic knowledge, basic overview on how to fill this form out so that you can apply for the PPP loan. So first, I'm going to show you how to fill this form out, and then I'm going to show you how to upload it to Smartbiz, because they will ask you to upload documents proving your income. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do is you want to download this document. There will be a link in the description. It's going to open up like this in a PDF form. You can type on this document and then you could download it when you're done, or you can use a PDF editor. Okay, so the first box is the name section. You're going to put your name. So for example purposes, I'm going to put a fake name here. Okay, so John Doe is what we're going to use. And then this next box here is your business or profession. So let's just say John Doe owns a marketing agency. Then you're going to come over here and you're going to put in your social security number. Okay, so now on section B, this is where you're going to enter in the principal business activity code. And I'm going to link a PDF in the description that is going to give you a list of all the codes. This is a 3-page long PDF where you can find where your business is on this PDF. You'll have to look through the different categories to see what code best fits your business. And you'll just highlight it and then you'll just copy it, come back to the form and paste it. Now on line C or section C, you're going to put in your business name. Now this is if you have a LLC, you can put that here. If you don't, if you're just a sole proprietor, then you're just going to leave this blank. Okay, so now if you have a EIN number, you're going to put that on section D. So if you have an LLC, you should have an EIN number. Even if you are a sole proprietor as well, sometimes sole proprietors get EIN numbers as well. So you can put that here. Just put a demo one here. Okay, so now you're going to put your business address right here on section E. You're going to put your business address if you have one. If you don't, you can put your home address if you have a home-based business and you don't have a separate business address. Okay, so once you're done with that, on the accounting method on F, you're most likely going to put cash using an online bookkeeping service like QuickBooks. Usually you'll run your profit loss statements using the cash settings to run the reports. Okay, G, do you materially participate in the operation of this business during 2020? If no, see instructions for limits or losses. So this answer is going to be yes. Okay, for H, if you started or acquired this business during 2020, check here. If not, leave it blank. Next question, did you make any payments in 2020 that would require you to file Forms 1099? So I and J go hand in hand. If yes, did you or will you file required Forms 1099? So what this means is if you had to pay someone over $600 in 2020, then you most likely filed 1099 forms. For example, I do affiliate marketing, so companies pay me to promote their company, so I get 1099s. They file 1099s for me because they are paying me more than $600 within a year. So if you didn't do that, you're going to put no. Okay, so part 1 for income. Question number 1, gross receipts or sales. See instructions for line 1 and check the box if this income was reported to you on Form W-2 and the statutory employee box on that form was checked. So I'm going to pull up an example profit and loss statement. You can do this inside of QuickBooks if you have QuickBooks or whatever bookkeeping software that you have. If you have a QuickBooks, you're just going to go to the report section and you're going to generate a profit and loss statement using the cash. And then you're going to generate that profit and loss statement for the year 2020. So here's an example profit and loss statement. So you're going to have your income and expenses listed on that statement. Is going to be totaled up, tallied up on that profit and loss statement. So at the bottom is going to say total expenses under expenses and also total income under income. And then at the bottom is going to show you whether you have a profit or a loss. So in this first box, you're going to put your gross total income. So on the profit and loss statement, it's going to say that under total income. Okay, so this one says $177,720. So you're going to put that here. Whatever yours says, you're going to put that right here. If you have returns and allowances, you're going to put that there. We're going to leave that blank. So if you subtract line 2 from line 1, if you have returns and allowances, you're going to put that here on line 3. If you don't have any returns or allowances, it's going to be that same number that you put on line 1. Okay, section 4 or line 4, cost of goods sold from line 42. So you're going to scroll down to line 42. You're going to get that in this section or part 3 where it says cost of goods sold. You're going to fill this out. You can get instructions on the IRS website. If you are a sole proprietor or a single member LLC and you do not sell like any physical products or anything like that, if you do not have any cost of goods, just leave that blank. If you do, you're going to fill this out and you're going to subtract line 40 or line 41 from line 40, and you're going to enter in that result here on line 4 in part 1. And then on line 5, you'll subtract line 4 from line 3. But for this example, we're not going to do any cost of goods sold. So we're going to leave that blank. So we don't have anything to subtract. So leave line 4 blank, and line 5, you're going to put in the same gross profit amount that you have from line 1. Line 6, other income including federal and state gasoline or fuel tax credit or refund. Also going to leave that blank. If you do have any of that, you're going to make sure that you put that in there. And then on line 7, you'll add line 5 and 6 together. So for this example, since we do not have anything in line 6, on line 7 is going to be the same number again, 177.20. Okay, so now we're going to get to part 2 where we fill out the expenses. So on this profit and loss statement, we have an expenses section where we can go through this and actually put in the amounts that were spent for the expenses for that year. So we have advertising here, $7,500. So that's on number 8. We're going to put $7,500 there. Then we also have accounting, which is $2,500. And then we have for rent, $15,610. So that's going to go on line 20. And you really got to see the instructions for rent because it's different categories for that, different instructions for that. So just for example purposes, I'm going to put that one. And I'm not going to fill out the rest of this just because this is an example. But that's how you do it. Under your expenses, you're going to put each expense in the proper category and put the amount that was spent on that expense in the different boxes. And then you're going to total that up on line 28. So total expenses before expenses for business use of home. You will add up lines 8 through 27A together and put that on line 28. So 7,500 for example purposes plus 2,500 plus 15,610, 25,610. So you'll put that here. Okay, 29 is tentative profit or loss. Subtract 28 from line 7. Okay, so you're going to do your gross profit minus your total expenses. So line 7, that is your gross profit or gross income. And then you're going to subtract that from line 28 and put that on line 29. So clear that. 177, 720 minus 25, 610 equals $152,110. So ladies and gentlemen, this is really simple to do. As long as you have your profit and loss statement, you have your bookkeeping done, it's not very hard to do. So the important part is that you got to have your bookkeeping done and it has to be up to date. Otherwise, this will be hard. Okay, so line 30 is expenses for business use of your home. Do not report these expenses elsewhere. Attach form 8829 unless using the simplified method. See instructions. All right, so we're going to leave that blank. If you have any questions about line 30, I would ask a tax professional. And then line 31, net profit or loss, subtract 30 from line 29. And then on line 32, if you have a loss, check the box that describes your investment in this activity. See instructions. If you checked 32A, enter the loss on both Schedule 1, Form 1040, line 3, and on Schedule SE, line 2. If you check the box on line 1, see the instructions for line 31. Estates and trusts, enter on Form 1041, line 3. So if you've invested in your business, then I would check line A because all of your investments pretty much could be at risk if you lose your business. So you can leave this blank if you want to, or you could check line 32A if that applies to you. So if you do not have any cost of goods sold, you'll leave this blank. If you do, make sure that you fill that out. On line 4, if you have a vehicle under your business, like if you have a car or a truck and you're claiming car or truck expenses on line 9 and are not required to file a 4562 for this business, see the instructions for line 13 and fill that out if you must file the 4562. So most of us won't be using that, so we're going to leave that blank. So this is pretty much done. If you have other expenses that are not included in lines 8 through 26 or line 30, you will need to put that down here and then tally that up on line 48. So this is pretty much done. Pretty easy to do. Once again, if you have your bookkeeping done, then this should be very quick for you to do so that you can upload this to Smartbiz when you are doing your application for the PPP loan. You don't have to use Smartbiz. You can use whatever company that you want to use. That's just what I use, and that's what I'm referring people to use as well. There will be a link in the description to my previous video that I made yesterday about the update on the date extension, as well as how to fill out the PPP loan on Smartbiz. So once you are done with this document, you can download it or actually hit print And you can save this as a PDF file. Click on save, name it, and then save it. So once you get to the financial section on the Smartbiz loan or the Smartbiz PPP loan application, this is what you're going to do. It's going to take 10 to 15 minutes to do this. You're going to click on begin. You are going to select what type of business that you have. If you have an LLC, if you are a sole proprietor, independent contractor, gig worker, whatever applies to you, you're going to select that. If you are watching this video, you're going to either be a LLC or a sole proprietor or a independent contractor. So I'm going to do LLC, and then on 2, you're going to state how many employees does your business have. If you are a sole proprietor, again, if you're doing this Schedule C, you most likely do not have any employees. So you're going to put 0 there. And then your type of business on question 3. On question 4, when did you start your business, or when did you get started as a sole proprietor or a gig worker? And then click on continue. And then you're going to choose your tax document type. So you're going to select tax document, and they're going to allow you to upload the 1040 Schedule C that we just did. So click on continue, and now you are going to choose which document that you use, which is the 1040 Schedule C. This is for everybody who is a independent contractor, self-employed, gig worker, single member, LLC, all of that. So select that, click continue. Now you're going to calculate your loan amount. So you're going to either do 2020's document or 2019. We just did 2020, so select 2020. Step 1, find your IRS form 1040 Schedule C, and then you are going to put in your gross income on line 7. What you did on line 7 is you put in your total gross income. You're going to take that amount. For example purposes, we had $177,722. So we are going to put that back in on this application. Keep in mind though, if you have over 100,000, you're still going to put 100,000 on here, because that's going to be they're going to calculate the max loan amount that you can get, and they're going up to $100,000 worth of gross income. So again, it says right here, if this amount on your document is over 100,000, you must enter 100,000. If you click on the I, it's not going to show up, but again, you have to put 100,000 because they're only going to give you up to $20,833 if you are an independent contractor, sole proprietor, single member, LLC, etc. So then it's going to give you your average monthly payroll. This is automatically going to be calculated once you put that number in there. And then your PPP loan amount is going to be 2.5 times your monthly payroll amount. So this is the highest amount that you can get as a sole proprietor or a single member LLC. Okay, so after you have done that, you are then going to pretty much tell them why you need this loan. You're going to give them an explanation about the information you provided as well, and kind of just tell them why you need the loan. They're going to see this when they review the application, and then click on continue. And then this is where you're going to upload your documents. So that Schedule C or 1040 Schedule C that we just downloaded, you're going to upload that right here. Also, keep in mind, do not upload a form 1099 that you receive from any other company, such as Lyft, Uber, or business you conducted or business you contracted with. Okay. And then you're going to click on continue. So then you're going to see this page, and this is where you're going to complete your application. You can also upload supporting documents. So that's how you do the financial part. That's how you upload the 1040 Schedule C to Smartbiz. For those of you who have been asking questions or may have gotten denied because you did the application wrong, you could try again and do it correctly with the 1040 Schedule C. Fill out that form. Make sure that you have your bookkeeping done so that you can fill out that form correctly and enter in that information on this application so that you can get your PPP loan as soon as possible. If you want to see more of a full process on how to do the application, please look at the video that I did yesterday. Link will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.